First of all, the desire, the ta'ava for a man to his wife is a prohibition. It's not allowed. Even the Shulchan Aruch is not permitting it. In no sa'if, in no part of the Shulchan Aruch is not allowing a person to desire his wife. The only permission that there is for a man to be with his wife out of a certain desire is if he finds himself that he is about to sin. But also in that situation, that if he finds himself about to sin, so he needs to please his wife and not to force himself on his wife. Many husbands, many men are finding themselves going and losing their minds because of their desires and their lusts, and then acting crazy and forcing themselves on their wives on daily basis, weekly basis, and breaking and destroying the spirits of their wives, because women are very innocent and women just want to be loved. And the husbands that are full with lusts are ignoring their wives' emotions, and they're just forcing themselves and using their wives as mattresses to satisfy their lusts and filthy desires. And there is no prohibition, there is no one that will permit and will allow it from the side of mitzvat onah. It's not a mitzvah. Mitzvah onah, it's only in her time. It's a mitzvah to be with her when she wants you to be with her. When the woman wants her husband to be with her, then there is a mitzvah, an obligation to the husband to be with her. There is no other mitzvah on a man to be with his wife except of that. And also the mitzvah that a couple have to bring children, that is on the husband, is only when the wife is satisfied and she wants her husband to be with her. If the wife doesn't want her husband to be with her, there is no permission for the husband to be with her and to force himself on her. Completely not exist. So when men are coming and forcing themselves on their wives many times, so I'm saying to those men, you're not allowed to upset your wife, you're not allowed to use your wife, because if a husband uses his wife, the Shulchan Aruch is defining it as bena anusa. He's forcing her, and it's like that he raped her. And no one wants to find himself in this situation, and especially when mitzvot ben adam lechavero, between a man to his wife, are so important. And also that the Shulchan Aruch is explaining that the results can be very dangerous, because the son can be ben anusa. Ben anusa means that he's got a spiritual defect, because that his father forced his mother to satisfy him, to be there for him, and he didn't keep the mitzvah for her, for Hashem. So it's a very dangerous thing, and it's damaging the baby, it's damaging the kid, the child. So we want to stay away from that thing. What that I explained in the class is that, I'll give you an example, and I'm talking about what that I said, that if you have such a crazy lust and desire, so you should go to a prostitute and not to force your wife, not to rape your wife. So for sure that's the truth, and there is no doubt about it, and I'll explain to you why. And I'll explain to you why. Because the Gemara is saying that if a person sees himself that he's about to sin, so he needs to dress black clothing and to go and to sin in another city, that he will not going to bring disgrace to his house, to his family, to his community. So it's a Gemara Meforeshet that is saying that if a person finds himself about to fail, that he needs to go and to do it somewhere else, and then to come back to his house like nothing happened, and maximum he can do tshuva on his sin. So when a husband finds himself that he is about to rape his wife, and on that case I was talking, that he is about to force his wife to do an act that is against her will, so it's better that he will dress black clothes and to go to somewhere else that people will not going to recognize him, and to do what he is about to do anyway, just not to bring down disgrace to his family, not to rape his wife, and not to make his children bnei anusa, children that are defected, because the father could not hold himself back from going with his lusts and desires, something that is very, very, very wrong, something that is very, very far from purity. And especially that I heard from my rabbi many, many times, and now I'm talking about Rav Shalom Arush Shlita, that he said, and it's written also in his books, that when a person is insulting and breaking the spirit of his wife, rebuking her and saying horrible bad comments to her, hurting her feelings, so it's like that he is shofech damim, that it's like that he is murdering her, like that it's written that tov lo la'adam, it's better for the person to throw himself into a flaming fire than to insult another person in public. And we know that Tamar, she was ready to sacrifice herself and to throw herself to the fire, and not to bring down disgrace on Yehuda, the head of the holy tribes. So we're learning halakha from that, and the halakha is saying that a person cannot bring disgrace to insult and to hurt the emotions of a person. And I heard that way of expressing himself, that Rav Shalom was expressing himself like that many, many times. He said every time that you're insulting and breaking the spirit of your wife, so you're murdering her, you're killing her, you're shofech damim. And it's better for a person, and that's a phrase of Rav Shalom Arush that he said many, many times, it's better to kill her once than to kill her on daily basis. So you need to be very, I'm not talking chas shalom, not about you and not about this rabbi that is going and trying to say bad things about my Torah and my explanation that is saving lives of people, hundreds of people and thousands of people, thank God. I'm not talking about no one, but I'm saying that a person should be very stupid to think that if, for an example, Rav Shalom is saying that a person should, it's better for him to kill his wife once than to kill her on daily basis, to learn that from it, that Rav Shalom said to go and murder the wives, it's very stupid. It's a very silly thing to think. So to learn from what that I said, that if you feel like you're about to rape and use your wife sexually, so it's better to go and to sleep with a prostitute, to learn from it halakha that I said to people to go to prostitutes, it's a very silly, stupid way of thinking. It's very defected, it's very twisted. To take out my words of purity and encouragements to people to stop forcing their wives to have kosher relationship with their wives based on honor, dignity, and peace and love, and especially honor, sensitivity to their emotions, loving them, caring about them, and to take those words and to twist them so badly, and to think that I chas v'shalom said to someone to go and to be with someone else. So it's very twisted, it's very weird, and I think that only weird people can suspect me in something like that. Every person that is listening to my classes, he loves the way I teach. People really respect my Torah and my opinion, my honest opinion, my humble opinion. And I am humble, and I am honest, and I am a man of truth, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And I'm very happy with what that I'm doing. I really hope that I clarified myself. I would love to hear that you send those messages also to this rabbi that is wasting his time going and talking about me and destroying other people's connection to the Torah and to the truth. And I really hope that Hashem will forgive him on the damage that he caused until today, and Hashem will bless his people with peace. And I would love to meet you soon with a lot of love and respect and honor to the Torah and to people that learns it. Thank you very much, and that Hashem will bless you in peace. Amen. Shalom Uvracha. I want to explain something that is very important. I'm doing my job to save people's life, and I know that probably there are other people that are doing their job with that intention, and when I'm receiving phone calls from women that are suffering from their husbands, that their husbands are using them as a mattress, as a physical vessel to relax themselves in a sexual way, to satisfy themselves. So this is a very painful thing, and I know that your intentions are good and that you're trying to find sources and simuchim in the Shulchan Aruch, and that's the right way. But I want to tell you that there are many things that as a rabbi, as a teacher, as a person in life, you're facing reality, and it's not always exactly like you hoped or like you want it to be according to Shulchan Aruch. And I'm not saying that you need to move from the Shulchan Aruch, but sometimes it's a process and it takes time to bring the person to keep the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch is not permitting ta'ava, desire, for the wife. The Rambam is saying that it's allowed for a person to do, but the Shulchan Aruch is not permitting that thing. The Shulchan Aruch is explaining that only if the husband feels that he's about to sin, so then he is allowed to come and to be with his wife out of his desire. But all of the rest, mitzvat ona, is to be with her only when she wants. And also when he feels that he is about to sin, he must attempt her and arouse her that she will want to be with him. But if she's refusing, so there is no way in the world that he is allowed to be with her. This is one thing. And I'm not chas v'shalom saying that the words of the Rambam are not right and not correct, but we need to understand that it's all when the woman is happy and satisfied to be with her husband. And I am receiving many messages and questions from women that don't want to sleep with their husbands and being forced to do that, or physically or emotionally, or by rabbis that are telling them you must be with your husbands whenever they want, that they will not gonna sin. And I know that from that approach is known and familiar in the Haredi world, and I disagree on that approach, because even though that to leotzi zara lebatala it's a huge prohibition, isur, I think that we need to put our mind and our hearts to mitzvot ben adam lechavero, that we're not allowed to hurt our wives. And this is something that is one of the main guiding lines that are guiding me. And also about what that you asked about the woman, that she is nida and she's refusing to go to the mikveh, and her to say I never said in that class that that the husband, he needs to be with his wife when she is nida. If really you're going to listen again to this class, you will see that I was basing my words on the lecture that I heard from Rav Shalom Arush. That Rav Shalom Arush, I was just telling the story in that class of what that Rav Shalom Arush told us when I learned in his yeshiva. And Rav Shalom explained that this husband came to him and asked him what he should do. So Rav Shalom told him not to divorce his wife. So he asked him, but what should I do? I'm not allowed to be with her because she's nida. So Rav Shalom told him, I understand there is only one thing to do, and it's prayer, it's tefillah. So he told him, but if she will continue to refuse go to the mikveh, what should I do? So Rav Shalom told him, you need to do more tshuva and you need to do more tefillah. And Rav Shalom didn't told him anything about what if to sleep with her or not to sleep with her. And for sure the answer is that it's not allowed to sleep with a woman that she's nida. There is no doubt about it. But even though that the Shulchan Aruch is saying that it is a reason to divorce, many rabbis are against divorce, and many rabbis are putting their mind into the deeper layers of the relationship and a little bit using their hearts a little bit more than just the hard and cold words of the Shulchan Aruch, and they're trying to avoid divorce. And there are cases that divorce will be much worse, because also after being divorced, the husband can fall from the derech and to sin in nida and in zera lebatala and in many other things, and also it can become pikuach nefashot. That is for sure much worse than all of the rest. And you have many situations that you need to respond and to answer according to the case itself. So even though that the Shulchan Aruch is saying that a person can divorce his wife because she's refusing to go to the mikveh, still the guiding lines that are guiding me is that divorce is the last option. So we're not permitting no one to be with his wife when she's nida, chas v'shalom. We're just telling people that the advice is to do tshuva, and that there is a reason why your wife doesn't want to be with you, and you need to work on yourself that your wife will want to be with you, to be a nicer person, more kind, more sensitive, more understanding, and not to take her and to drag her to the mikveh, and not to force her to go to the mikveh with your rabbi. And I had a long conversation with Rabbi Hakimian in New York, and he asked me on the same topic about the same class that he heard from a student of mine and of him, and we sat for a while in the Bet Knesset, and I explained myself and he asked, and thank God we found the golden path and the understanding. And it's true that a rabbi needs to calculate his words, like that you said from the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, and I'm appreciating your words, and I'm gonna put it in mind to see how to be more careful. But I want to explain, and I would love also to explain another point about what that you asked on the husband that goes to another city to wear black clothings. So on all of that, again, I'm saying we need to understand that even though that Tosfot are trying to protect people from sinning, we need to listen to the pshat. That's what I think, that sometimes a person is about to fall and he is falling, and I'm not saying that it is allowed to fall. And like that I explained in the message, it's like you cannot take out the intention, the heart of the person out from his words. If I based my words on what that Rav Shalom said, that you're not allowed to murder your wife on daily basis, insulting and hurting her, and based on that I said that also a husband cannot use his wife and abuse his wife. He needs just to work on himself and to relax himself, and that's the right conclusion. So I'm asking from you for Klal Israel to understand my approach and to understand that I'm not going in no way against the Shulchan Aruch. And I'm just dealing with people that fell under the table and they don't even understand what we're talking about when we're mentioning the words Shulchan Aruch. And I know that you're also familiar with those people and that you're teaching, thank God. And I appreciate your work, and I would love to hear good news from your success, that you will always grow and succeed and will be mekarev thousands and thousands of people. And may Hashem bless us all of the units and all of the commanders and all of the leaders and all of the powerful people of our nation to go and to spread pure Torah and to bring in holy will and holy desires into the hearts of our nation, to serve Hashem with a happy heart and with a healthy spirit. I hope that my words are bringing some light and understanding to you on my way of thinking. And if you have anything else to say, I would love to hear it. And I will try to be more sensitive with my words and to try to say them in a way that people will not be mistaken to think that Chas v'Shalom we're permitting something that is not allowed. For sure that to go to prostitutes, it's not allowed. By the way, I wanted to tell you another point that was a little bit bothering me in your recording. I know that halachically, like you said, the prohibition is more wrong is to be with a prostitute than with a woman that she is with a woman that she's nida. I don't remember what you said exactly, on a woman that she's anusa, but that's from the halachic side. But I think that we need again to put our mind into this side of ben adam lechavero, that it cannot be that it will be lighter to hurt your wife than to go to a prostitute. To force your wife and to rape her in a certain way cannot be lighter, because Hashem Yitbarach said that derech eretz kadma la-Torah, and that mitzvot ben adam lechavero it's much more important to Hashem. And like what that Hashem is saying, et asher kalti echmartem, and what that and et asher echmarti ekaltem. To hurt a person, to hurt a woman, to hurt your wife, and to make her feel like you're using her for sexual relationship, that she's your mattress, this is something awful for the spirit of a Bat Israel. This is a horrible, horrible, depressing feeling for a daughter of the Creator, to feel that she's been used now for physical needs of her husband. Not all women are understanding and able to understand it. Most of the women just want to be loved and appreciated. So to look at this sugya from the halachic side of it, and just to read what it's written in the Shulchan Aruch, it's a little bit disturbing for me, and I must put my heart also on the feelings and the emotions of the Bnot Israel, that they were not going to feel that they have been used and disgraced. So I hope again that my words brought some logic, and I hope that we're going to hear good news in the future. Amen.